Are you finding yourself lacking confidence after you've checked your social media? Or maybe it may be impacting you. And today, what I'm going to talk about is overcoming some of these negative impacts social media may be having on you so that you can build your confidence. And if you stay until the end, I have an extra point for you then as well. Now, if you really want to, if you're a man and you want to really focus on men's mental health and men's growth, then check out my latest podcast. Or maybe you know a man who this may be useful for, because I've got that particular subject, the Men's Mental Health and Growth podcast, on my brand new podcast that I'll link in the show notes below. I've been terrible with social media sometimes, with using it in the wrong way. Like, that person's doing good, blah, blah, blah. I'm not so great. I need to up my game. All that kind of self-talk, even though I deny it was there to myself, was there. Unconsciously, it can do it, whether you know about it or not sometimes. Now, social media is there to... there's some great things of it. I don't necessarily think the people who created it had bad intentions. I think there's a business opportunity for there, but it's also a way for us to connect with each other, and it's great for doing that. But I obviously like to talk to people in person. But it's often people using it to condition each other, like marketers and businesses. And again, they're not bad people. They're just, their interest is their business and really growing. And sometimes they want to impact people, obviously, in a positive way. There's people doing different things out there, so we won't go down that. But there's a lot of conditioning, a lot of programming done with social media. And if you're not careful, you don't train yourself, I found that it can really impact your confidence. And I've certainly been guilty of that. And how does it feel when you're like feeling negative because of the impacts of social media? Because if you're anything like me, it didn't feel too great. So I want to give you some points that I found really useful to build a high, strong self-esteem. Self-esteem being how much you like yourself, and therefore your confidence, how much you trust yourself and feel good in yourself. So outside of social media, I'm going to do some kind of things outside of it, and then what you can practically do to deal with it. So the first thing is, each morning, go to the mirror without fail and say your name followed by the words, I love you. What that's going to do is create a good relationship with yourself, create a good bond with yourself. The second thing is schedule time when you're allowed to use social media and when you're not, because that's going to really help you put some boundaries in place and allow you to connect with you a little bit more. And it's not about going cold turkey. You can go a whole week if you want without social media. Maybe just cut it down a little bit. The third one, find time to sit with yourself every morning to start connecting with yourself, because I found that's really, really powerful to boost that relationship with me and just see the beauty within me. And you can see the beauty within you and really understand who you are and more of that. And then the fourth one, replace it with something else. Like when you're not using it, find something else to replace it with. Do something you enjoy, like exercise or reading something, right? I'm not going to tell you what to replace it with, but find something you'll find really beneficial to replace it with. Okay, I'm going to end on the final point. Just before that, though, I want to mention that if you want to if you want something more specific on men's mental health, maybe you're a man or you know a man that would like to hear about that subject, that is my entire new podcast is focused on men's mental health. It's called the Men's Mental Health and Growth Podcast, and you can find it linked in the show notes below. Okay, my final point is just do a detox. Just test yourself on a detox and notice the difference within inside yourself. How, like, I would grade your confidence, your self-esteem before you do this detox of coming off social media. Write it down in a journal, and then maybe if you come off this social media for 5 days or so, 5 to 7 days, write down what you would score your self-confidence and self-esteem at the end of that, and also your energy levels, right? And therefore that may give you some suggestions on how much of an impact it's having on you, and then some action steps you can take in place to maybe reduce it and work on your relationship with you. So that's what I got for you today. I appreciate you for being here. You're improving other people's lives by being the best you. And remember, you are in control of your own self esteem and confidence.